Thank you for joining us here in Los Angeles, California. Have you tried our avocados? Oh, man. We got some damn fine avocados, right, Guillermo?
That's right, Jimmy. Yeah.
I just was looking for something to talk about besides Trump. And you know what? I failed. Donald Trump has been president for 45 days, only 1,417 to go. Today, he set in motion his plan to dissolve the Department of Education. He directed his new Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon, the one from wrestling, that's right. WWE co-founder Linda McMahon will supervise the important work of dismantling the Department of Education. Good for him, though. Another genius tactical move. I'll tell you why. He keeps getting attacked by all these smart people. What does he do? He outlaws smart. There will be no more smart. Of course, it's also a win for Linda McMahon. The less educated we are, the more likely we are to believe that wrestling is real. And it's interesting how this will work. An executive order to close the department would likely require 60 votes in the Senate. Republicans only have 53 seats in the Senate, so they won't get that, but they will be able to bleed the department out. Their plan, they say, is to turn control over education to the states. In other words, bad news, Mississippi, your kids aren't going to be able to spell Mississippi anymore. As the pile of crazy starts to build, a lot of people have been wondering how and when the Democrats are planning to fight back. Well, look out, because we got a plan, and we are launching it on TikTok.
Choose your character.
Yeah, we're not going to stand back and take it anymore. We're going to fight. What is that supposed to do besides embarrass everyone involved with it? And then we had a scene outside NPR where angry protesters gathered to denounce a bill in the House that would eliminate funding for public broadcasting.
So I'm going to say whose streets, and you're going to say Sesame Street. Yeah? Yeah? Okay, here we go. Let's try it. Whose streets?
Sesame Street!
Whose streets?
Sesame Street!
Whose streets?
Sesame Street!
You know, maybe I'll look into getting a medically induced coma for the next 4 years. Just a way to sleep it out. Oh man, if that is the best we got, Ukraine is even in more trouble than we realize. You know, the United States is no longer providing Ukraine with military aid or intelligence, which means they're largely in the dark and can't conduct missile strikes using certain U.S.-made weapons. After Trump kicked them out of the White House Friday, President Zelensky went right to Europe for help. He went to the EU summit in Brussels, where the press came at him like a school of piranhas.
So today, Volodymyr, thank you for coming. It's a very important moment to show that we stand by Ukraine for as long as it takes.
Thank you very much, dear Antonio, dear Ursula, and I want to thank all our European leaders, first of all, and for such signal, strong support. This has strong support from the very beginning of the war.
Hold on, now, wait a minute. At least one of those was an ice cream cone, I think. It was reported today that Trump's planning to deport more than 200,000 Ukrainians who are living here in the United States while Russia's bombing their country. He's going to send them back to the... At this point, even Putin's like, hey, reel it in a little. You're making this a little too obvious, you know? On top of that, our co-president, Elon Musk, has endorsed the deal, the idea of the U.S. pulling out of both NATO and the United Nations, which is big because Elon Musk, you know, he has 14 kids. He doesn't ever pull out of anything. And Elon had baby number 14 over the weekend. The baby's mother tweeted the child's name, which is Selden Lycurgus. And I wonder if when he impregnates these women, they have a conversation. He's like, hey, there's one thing that's very important to me. The child must have a ridiculous name, okay? It's interesting because the only guy who even comes close to Elon when it comes to multiple children with unusual names is Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon's got some strange ones, too. And with that said, it's time to play Canon or Elon. Guess which baby belongs to which father. First up, Zion Mixolydian. Who's your daddy? Zion, do you know, audience? Elon or Canon? And the answer is Nick Cannon. All right, next up, Exa Dark Citarail. Elon. You say Elon, and it is Elon, daughter of Elon Musk. Next, Zillionaire. Nick Cannon, it is Zillionaire Cannon, that's right. Followed by Onyx Ice Coal. Ice Coal. Nick Cannon, yeah, that's a Canon kid. This one I think will be obvious too. X-A-A-X-I-I. Elon. Is it Elon? It is Elon. Named his kid after his company or his company after his kid. I don't know what. For this one, two children, twins, named Strider and Azure. Who do they belong to? They belong to Elon Musk. Not too crazy, but how about this? Techno Mechanicus. That's right, that is Techno Mechanicus Musk. And finally, Tropical Game Fuel. Is that Elon or Nick? That one is actually a flavor of Mountain Dew. But thanks for playing, and I'm sure we'll have many more in the future. You know, Trump definitely thinks those are stupid names, right? I mean, the only name dumber than Techno Mechanicus is Eric. Today, Donald Trump continued playing whack-a-mole with the stock market by announcing he's delaying some of the tariffs he put on Mexico and Canada earlier this week. But Canada's in full-on defense mode right now. In response to the tariffs, many Canadian stores are pulling American-made liquor off their shelves. That's all liquor from the United States. It's all gone. And this is a painstaking process for Canadians because they apologize to each bottle as they remove it from the shelf. I'm so sorry. Can you believe we're shaking down Canada? They must be so confused. We had such a good relationship. It's like, you know what it's like? It's like we suddenly got hooked on meth and we went to the apartment upstairs and yelled, "You got any money?" Meanwhile, J.D. Vance was busy stirring it up down south at the border of Mexico. He said Trump still wants to finish that wall he campaigned on the first time. We're back on that again. I don't think we need to finish the wall. It feels like this administration's already doing a pretty good job of making sure no one wants to live here. They might have to build a wall to keep us in at this point. One of the sillier things Trump has done since taking office was installing himself as chairman of the board of the Kennedy Center. And as a result, a number of artists have canceled their previously scheduled engagements, including Hamilton. Hamilton, the musical, will not have a run at the Kennedy Center. It will be replaced by a production of Kanye West Side Story and then followed by an all-white production of The Wiz. One of the big indicators that Americans are paying attention to lately are eggs. Eggs have gotten so expensive and in some places scarce that Trump's Secretary of Agriculture, his recommendation was that we all get chickens, which would make sense, except the reason we have this problem is because of the bird flu. It's not a great time to have chickens in your yard. And of course, there are people looking to profit from this, which is usually the case, even selling eggs on Facebook Marketplace. Like this guy who has got a lot of them and no room in his fridge, he's selling them for $7. I guess maybe a dozen, maybe a piece. You can get them fertilized or unfertilized. No judgment. Some people, nice people, are actually giving them away, although from the looks of this photo, he may kill you when you show up at his... And then there are those who are selling whole chicken setups, coops and runs. And I don't know. Personally, I've always lived by the words, never eat anything you bought off Facebook. But if you are in the market for a new or gently used frittata, Facebook is the place right now. Eggs have been on a lot of people's minds since the election. But the truth is, even though they're something we eat almost every day, eggs are very mysterious. Not too many of us understand them. And since we don't have much of a Department of Education anymore, we went out to the best place to learn, Hollywood Boulevard, to ask people out on the street how birds have babies, and this is what we learned.
How do birds have babies? Oh, I don't know.
I mean, I know very little about that.
Like as in, how does the egg create inside the bird? Have no idea.
How do birds have babies?
Through their crotch.
Birds have babies in a nest.
How do birds have babies? They hatch them from an egg. Right?
Eggs. They lay eggs. They keep the eggs warm on a nest, and then the eggs hatch.
How do they get pregnant? Or do they get pregnant? Or
Yeah, I don't think I think they just sit beside another bird and then lay an egg.
so how does the egg appear?
Science.
I think, because I know they have to eat rocks. I'm pretty sure something in the rocks with like.
Wait, who has to eat rocks?
The chickens.
Okay.
The chickens have to eat the rocks to form this like hard shell around to produce the eggs in the egg sac, and then it comes out.
Do male birds have penises?
I don't think I've ever seen one.
I'm sure they do. It's like under the feather somewhere.
Such a masculine, such a figure of power in this country, I gotta assume that, yes, they have a penis and a very large one.
What did you study in college?
Zoology.
So do male birds have penises?
Don't know the answer to that.
Does any of this seem recognizable to you?
Okay, to be completely honest, this looks like a tomato. That looks like a pile of potatoes. Ooh, bacon, but that's not a chicken thing. That's not a chicken thing. Claws, this is an anus. What about an anus?
Does everything happen in that one hole?
Depends who you're asking. I don't know.
I'm asking you.
Are you asking me? Usually.
Explain what's happening in this picture.
The rooster is laying on a chicken.
Okay. Why is she crying?
It probably hurts.
How long does he do that for?
It can last a few minutes.
Do you know what it looks like when two birds have sex?
I have heard that the one bird can be on top of the other bird like this, and sometimes they do it flying, I believe.
I know that there's like this mating ritual thing. Like bald eagles, they cling onto each other's claws and they like do a death spiral towards the floor. They go, ooh, and then, right? Then they like spiral towards the floor. And then right before they hit the ground, they go, and then I guess like a baby comes out or something.
All right, well, okay, that's some good stuff there. Oh my God, I can't believe it. We have 20 million subscribers on YouTube.
Unbelievable.
I only wish we got paid for this. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Help us get to 50 million, please. It's an emergency.